So, did you know that it takes two people to say yes to getting married, but it only takes one of them to say yes to getting divorced? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today, about what you need to make sure that you are not surprised by your partner deciding to get divorced. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach and the creator of the Hero Husband Project and owner of Foundations Coaching. And January is one of the times when these surprise announcements frequently show up. And in my opinion, nobody should be surprised by their partner asking for a divorce. So why does it happen? And before I continue, if you're one of the people who's gotten that surprise, or you already know that there are some things that need to be better about the marriage, then I invite you to contact me by either putting a comment down below, sending me a direct message, or emailing me at Leslie, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com. And now I want to talk about how you can keep from finding yourself in this really bad position. And I was thinking about this today because I was working with a client. I've been working with him for a while, and he is now doing all of the right things. The problem is that even though he has stepped up and is being a much better partner, his wife is still hurt and angry and scared. And I work with men. I actually help people understand what makes marriage work, and I give them the tools to make it better. But I can't make their partners receptive. Now, what I can do is increase the odds. And I was reading in a blog post yesterday and came across this wonderful line. Leaders lead. They don't shout through megaphones for people to submit. And I want you to be the leader in your marriage. And the way that you can be the leader in your marriage is to make sure that you are doing the things that will make your wife want to stay with you. And one of the things that has come up with this particular client is that when push comes to shove, now he loves her, he does not want to get divorced, he has changed his behavior, she's recognized he's changed his behavior. But then whenever it's what does she want to do, she gets really upset. Because why is it her decision? Well, the truth of the matter is that staying in a relationship is a decision that you each make. And you each make it actually every day. And the question becomes, have you made it inviting for your wife to continue to say yes to you? Now, you got her to say yes when you proposed, and you got her to say yes, or I do, on your wedding day. The question is she still saying yes? And if you don't know the answer to that, and I'm not talking about yes by omission, I mean yes by assumption because she's still there. Because the thing is that she may be thinking about getting out, and you don't have any idea that she's doing it, and you're going to be one of those people who then gets the surprise. Divorce should never, a request for divorce should never be a surprise. You should know it's coming. And in fact, for most people, taking action long before that ever shows up is really the way to keep it from happening. And, you would never advance in your career if you didn't keep learning, if you didn't keep striving, if you didn't get feedback about how you're doing. And yet we put marriage into this black box and then wonder why we're struggling with it. A real leader leads by example. They never ask anybody else to do something they won't do. They don't complain or put the focus on other people. They look at themselves and say, what can I do better? Right? I've had, I think it was probably last week when I was talking about my other client who said he had to respond to a coworker in a very unproductive way. And I called him on it. It's like, no, you don't. Right? I work with clients all the time that say, well, but my wife made me or my husband made me. It's like, nobody can make you. You're choosing. And if you aren't choosing to do things that promote and protect your marriage, then you're choosing to do things to put it at risk. And the things that work are not difficult. They're actually quite simple, but it takes knowledge and courage to implement them. It takes knowledge and courage to see beyond the tone that your partner is bringing to what they're really asking for. These are skills you can learn. It takes knowledge and skill and courage not to bite at your triggers, not to let somebody get under your skin and you behave in a way that you're not proud of, right? And these are the things that are going to keep your marriage going, right? One of the things is that you know what's going on in all aspects of your marriage. You know what's going on with the finances. You know what's going on with the children if you have them. You know what's going on with the intimacy levels. You know what's going on with running of the household and how well you communicate, right? I had another client who I've been working with, and his wife recognizes there's a communication problem, but she doesn't want to do anything about it, which blows my mind, right? It's like, okay, there's a problem. I mean, my attitude is, how long would you walk around with a broken leg before you went to the doctor and got it fixed? But people do this with their marriages all the time, and maybe that's you. And if you are not having regular check-ins with your partner in a constructive way about where your marriage is going, you're going to end up in the ditch. If you talk to a pilot, they'll tell you that if the plane is off course by 1 degree, which doesn't sound like very much, after several hours, you're way off course. And that's what people do with their marriages. It's not that bad. Maybe it is. And so I'm inviting you to take some action. So I would love to know how you feel about this. Give me a comment down below. Does this resonate? Does it make sense? Do you think I'm crazy? Because a lot of people do. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm used to being called crazy. But if you're ready, then I invite you to schedule time to talk with me. Put a comment down below, DM me, or email me. And hopefully this was helpful. And until next week, stay loving.